Welcome back to the Senior Healthcare channel. Here we explore gentle, practical, yet very important knowledge to maintain vitality, protect the prostate, balance hormones, and provide comprehensive care for male health as we enter the senior years. Today, we will discuss a topic that many gentlemen over the age of 60 often wonder about, and may even feel a bit hesitant to mention. That is, how does daily self-stimulation affect your prostate health? This is a question that even leading male health experts such as Dr. Abraham Morgentaler and the American Urological Association have studied and shared interesting findings on. Before we begin, if you have not yet subscribed to the channel, please click that button and turn on the notification bell so you do not miss any useful health tips made just for you. If you find today's topic helpful, please type the number 1 in the comments. If the content does not meet your expectations, please type the number 0 so I can continue improving the content even more. When it comes to male health, we cannot overlook the role of the prostate. This is a small organ but holds a very important function in the male body, especially as age gradually increases over the years. The prostate is located just below the bladder, surrounding a short portion of the urinary tube called the urethra. Its size is only about that of a walnut, but it plays a direct role in producing a large portion of the fluid that nourishes sperm, helping maintain complete male function. We can compare it to an orchestra where the prostate is like the conductor who keeps all activities running in harmony. As men enter the later stages of life, especially after the age of 60, too many start to experience natural changes in the prostate. One of the most common issues is benign prostatic hyperplasia, also known as BPH. When the prostate enlarges, it can put pressure on the urethra, leading to urinary problems such as frequent nighttime urination, difficulty urinating, weak urine flow, or the feeling of incomplete emptying. For many, this becomes a reason for disrupted sleep and overall health being affected. In addition, we should also mention the risk of prostatitis, a condition where inflammation causes pain in the pelvic floor area, burning or discomfort when urinating, and prolonged irritation. In some cases, this may be accompanied by bladder inflammation, making nighttime urination and urgency even more troublesome. More importantly, prostate cancer is the most common cancer in older men in the United States, according to the National Institute on Aging (NIH). However, thanks to advances in screening and treatment today, if detected early, most cases have a very favorable outlook. Because the prostate plays such a central role in male health, any daily habit related to its function receives a great deal of attention. Among these, the question of whether daily self-stimulation has any effect remains a topic of ongoing discussion. On one hand, some worry that this activity may harm vitality or even increase the risk of illness. On the other hand, many believe that it helps maintain flexibility and supports the prostate's natural function. When discussing the relationship between daily male activity and prostate health, modern science has conducted in-depth research over many years. These findings not only help clarify long-standing debates, but also offer a more open perspective, especially for older men who wish to maintain vitality safely. One of the most notable studies often mentioned comes from a research group at Harvard University, published in the journal European Urology in 2016. This study followed nearly 0 men over a continuous period of 18 years. The results showed that those who engaged in male activity frequently, specifically about 21 times per month or more, had a 31% lower risk of prostate cancer compared to those who engaged only about 4 to 7 times per month. This is a very significant number Scientists explain that male activity helps stimulate the prostate's natural secretion mechanism. When this gland works regularly, waste, inflammatory residues, and toxins that may accumulate inside the gland's ducts over time are expelled. As a result, the risk of chronic inflammation decreases, which in turn limits the potential for abnormal cells to develop into tumors. In addition, each time a man reaches the peak of male activity, the central nervous system releases a series of hormones that create relaxation and pleasure, such as endorphins and oxytocin. These hormones help reduce psychological stress, regulate heart rate, blood pressure, and especially help stabilize male hormones, which tend to fluctuate as men age. Reducing stress also means less strain on the immune and urinary systems, indirectly contributing to protecting the prostate from chronic inflammation. Another study, published in the Journal of Sexual Medicine in 2017, further supports this observation. According to this study, men who maintain regular male activity from the age of 20 to the 30th of May reduce the risk of prostate issues later in life. This suggests that keeping a stable rhythm of male activity from youth may bring long-term benefits to the prostate in old age. However, it is important to recognize that these benefits only truly appear when male activity is maintained at a moderate and reasonable level. Excessive activity, prolonged obsession, or physical and mental fatigue may lead to opposite effects, which we will explore in more detail in the next section. The key point here is that male activity is not the only factor determining overall prostate health. It is just one piece within a larger picture that includes lifestyle, nutrition, exercise, stress management, and regular medical checkups. The harmonious combination of all these factors forms the solid foundation for maintaining vitality in older men. Throughout many years of working with older male patients, I have observed that there are many concerns surrounding inaccurate beliefs related to daily male activity and prostate health. Sometimes these misunderstandings are the very reason that many gentlemen feel unnecessary stress and worry. Therefore, in this section, let us gently remove these layers of misunderstanding to gain a more open, safe, and scientific perspective. First is the belief that daily male activity causes infertility. In reality, this is not accurate. The process of sperm production in the male body occurs regularly every day under the control of hormones. The body's elimination of sperm through male activity is simply the release of sperm cells that are ready to leave the body. If not expelled, these cells will naturally break down and be reabsorbed after some time. Therefore, maintaining male activity at a reasonable frequency does not reduce fertility and certainly does not deplete sperm reserves, as many mistakenly believe. Next is the idea that male activity drains energy and weakens overall health. In Eastern culture, some traditional documents have mentioned such risks. However, with modern scientific understanding, medical experts affirm that when maintained at a moderate level, male activity does not weaken health or shorten lifespan. In fact, by stimulating the release of relaxing hormones like endorphins, the body can reduce nervous tension, stabilize heart rate and blood pressure, and promote better sleep. In older adults, since stress and insomnia may worsen hormonal issues, maintaining emotional stability through moderate activities can actually support overall health. Another common misunderstanding I often hear is the belief that frequent male activity can completely prevent all prostate diseases. In reality, research shows that this activity may help clean secretions, reduce the risk of chronic inflammation, and potentially lower the risk of prostate cancer in certain groups. However, this does not mean that other conditions such as benign prostatic hyperplasia or acute prostatitis can be entirely prevented solely through the frequency of male activity. These conditions also depend on many other factors such as genetics, nutrition, exercise, sleep quality, and the individual's overall hormonal balance. Therefore, the important point is not about excessive abstinence or uncontrolled exaggeration of benefits. The key lies in balance, listening to your body, maintaining reasonable routines, and seeking medical advice early when any abnormal signs related to the prostate or urinary system appear. Although many scientific studies have shown that moderate male activity may bring certain benefits to the prostate, like any other health behavior, when it exceeds suitable limits, it may cause unwanted effects, especially in older adults, as hormone function and overall health have already changed significantly. Listening to your body becomes more important than ever. In reality, some older gentlemen may gradually develop a habit of male activity at a frequency higher than necessary. At first, this may serve as a way to relax mentally, relieve pressure, or simply become a personal routine. However, if this activity starts to affect other aspects of life, it may signal that imbalance has appeared. A common first sign is when the habit interferes with daily responsibilities. If you notice that you are missing family activities, seeing a decline in work performance, or limiting social interactions due to increasing personal needs, it is time to reconsider your current frequency. In addition, some gentlemen share that they begin to feel mentally fatigued after each session, even gradually losing emotional connection with their partner. This often happens when personal habits replace intimacy within the relationship. In old age, when hormonal changes reduce natural excitement, excessive dependence on personal habits may lead to emotional isolation that many may not even realize. Physically, excessive male activity may sometimes lead to sensitivity in the urinary area. Some gentlemen may feel soreness in the pelvic floor, a slight tightness or discomfort during urination after engaging in too much activity over a short period, especially for those who also have conditions such as benign prostatic hyperplasia or bladder inflammation. These discomforts may become more noticeable. Another point that should be addressed directly is when male activity is combined with excessive use of stimulating images from films or electronic media. This may create unrealistic expectations about male life. Over time, it may reduce satisfaction in real relationships, creating psychological pressures that are difficult to resolve. However, it is important to emphasize that there is no fixed number of times per week that is considered enough or too much. Each person has different physical conditions and needs. The most important thing is to recognize how your body feels after each session. Assess your comfort both physically and mentally, and make adjustments that are most reasonable and balanced with your daily lifestyle. If you feel concerned about your habits, do not hesitate to consult your family doctor or medical specialist to receive personalized advice suited to your hormone condition and prostate health. After gaining a better understanding of the relationship between male activity and prostate health, you may realize that caring for your body in old age is not limited to a single habit. Instead, it is a process of gently but consistently adjusting your overall lifestyle. Below are 5 simple yet very helpful tips that I often recommend to gentlemen over the age of 60. First is building a balanced diet. Foods rich in lycopene such as ripe tomatoes, watermelon, and pink grapefruit, along with fatty fish rich in omega-3 like salmon and mackerel, help reduce inflammation and protect prostate tissue from oxidative damage. In addition, seeds like pumpkin seeds and walnuts, which are high in zinc, play an important role in regulating male hormones. On the other hand, consuming too much red meat, fast food, and processed foods may increase the risk of chronic inflammation and negatively affect the prostate. Therefore, prioritizing fresh, Clean foods, rich in fiber and minerals, is the first key to maintaining lasting vitality. Second is maintaining a regular physical activity routine. Many studies have shown that just 30 minutes of brisk walking each day can improve blood circulation, help control weight, and reduce pressure on the prostate and urinary system, especially for men experiencing nighttime urination, leakage, frickin' daytime urination. Practicing pelvic floor exercises, also known as Kegel exercises, will strengthen the pelvic muscles, improve bladder control, and minimize nighttime discomfort. The third tip involves keeping up with regular medical checkups according to recommendations from the National Institute on Aging in the United States. Men should begin prostate screening tests such as PSA and digital rectal exams starting at age 50. For those with high risk factors, such as a family history of the disease, screening should begin at age 45. Detecting even the smallest abnormalities early allows for timely control and intervention before issues become more complicated. Fourth is learning effective stress management. Prolonged mental pressure not only disrupts hormone balance, but also directly affects sleep, heart rate, and male health. Relaxing activities such as meditation, yoga, tai chi, listening to soft music, or simply spending time gardening or caring for pets can help balance emotions, indirectly supporting prostate health. Finally, equally important is maintaining open communication with your partner. Do not hesitate to share changes in physical condition, needs, or emotions with your loved one. Understanding and mutual support will help both partners build a stronger relationship. Lift each other's spirits and together find suitable solutions when adjustments in male activity habits are needed according to health stages. By harmoniously combining these factors, you will gradually build a solid foundation to protect both prostate health and the entire male system as the years advance. So, throughout today's journey, we have taken a scientific and objective look at the relationship between daily male activity and prostate health in older men. It is clear that within moderate and appropriate limits, this activity may bring certain health benefits, helping to support the cleansing of secretions, regulate hormones, and reduce some psychological stress. However, like all other health habits, the core principle remains reasonable balance, listening to your body, and knowing when to stop if necessary. In addition to male activity, older gentlemen should also pay close attention to maintaining a balanced diet, engaging in regular physical activity, scheduling routine medical checkups, and equally important, keeping a relaxed mindset. The harmonious combination of physical and mental care will form a strong foundation to sustain male health even as age continues to advance. If you notice any unusual signs related to urinary function, discomfort in the lower abdomen, urination issues, or sudden changes in vitality, do not hesitate to consult a urologist or your family doctor for early evaluation. Detecting and addressing problems in a timely manner always leads to much more positive treatment outcomes compared to allowing conditions to progress over time. If you found today's content helpful, please click the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you will not miss the gentle health advice we share with you each week. And if you would like to contribute your thoughts, feel free to leave a comment below. Every piece of feedback is a valuable motivation that helps this channel continue to improve. In the next video, we will share simple exercises that help reduce leakage and strengthen the pelvic area for older men. Please do not miss it.